with an Isery though. You feel me? Nah.
Nah.
They're gonna be checking. Nigga, but why I keep fucking up? Fucking bitch. What's good? Y'all tapping into part 2. Urban Moguls will be right here. We dropped the most game. Hold up. I got a little discount for y'all real quick one time. It's free actually. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell. We right here with a real special guest. He goes by the name of Hatch86, aka. That's for you to find out. Yeah, man, so we talking a little about in part 1 about your life, how you came up, what you've been through a little bit, whatnot. But now it's part 2. We want to know the most important thing. For the people who are trying to pursue the life behind the camera, the lens, whatever you want to call it, pursue working with artists and, you know, just other big names in the game. How'd you get into the field that you're in?
So I guess like even before, so I went to film school after high school. I went to Cal State Northridge in LA, and for whatever reason, I just always wanted to do music videos. Like, you know, even though I might have been doing, you know, short films, documentaries, whatever in college, music videos is what I wanted to do for a living one day.
How did you decide that though? Was it that you were watching too many videos, or you just random?
I think like going back to, you know, filming skateboarding, I fell in love with filming videos, and, you know, at the same time I was, you know, falling in love with music, with rap, hip hop. So I was like, I'm gonna put these two interests together, and I want to shoot music videos for a living one day. Come to find out that that's like a dying industry, you know, like back in the day with like fucking like P. Diddy videos, like those are like $1 million and up videos, you know, and now that's significantly less. Even the top videos are not the budgets they used to be.
Well, that's because the mainstream was controlling everything back then. You know?
So whatever. So I knew that going into it. I was like, whatever. I don't
care.
I don't care. Passion, like, you know, like as long as I'm able to pay my bills, like if I'm doing something I'm passionate about, like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to film school, graduated. I kind of like the first year, like didn't even do anything, like film related.
Did they give you your own cameras when you graduated, or you had to buy your own little by little equipment?
No, not at all. Yeah, like when you're in school, they would, you know, they had a rental department. You could rent whatever camera you want if it's available, which you had to reserve it, you know, a month in advance. But yeah, it's like, at least for my school, like you're pretty much on your own after, like, not even talking about just equipment, like just references, whatever, like,
yeah.
they're like, all right, we gave you your education, go out there, do it. Like, it's like, what? I don't even know where to start, you know?
Yeah.
So.
What was your first job fresh out of high school, or I mean, fresh out of film school?
So while I was still in film school, we had to do an internship for part of the program, and for basically a year, I was interning at TMZ. I forgot how exactly I got it. I remember at one point, like I was like flipping through a binder of like, you know, studios and everything that were associated with the school, and then nothing really stuck out to me. And then I think one of my professors also worked at TMZ.
This is in LA, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of my professors was like, oh, you can be like I don't even think they told me the position at the time, but they're like, you can work here.
The lighting. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that. So I started at TMZ. What was I doing? They had me like doing something like for the articles on the website, like WordPress, like you know, and it was just like, this is not what
you signed up for, huh?
Yeah, I don't care to learn this. I don't want to learn this. Like, so I like talked to whoever at TMZ, and I was like, I'm trying to do like video and like stuff.
Was it beneficial though in the long run?
What I did at first?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay,
not at all. I haven't used it to this day.
Yeah.
So then they're like, all right, we're gonna, you know, move departments. Then I became like basically like an assistant editor.
Yeah.
So that was cool because I was like supervising all the commercials that were going on the air, and I was making sure the audio levels are right and that they're cut to the right time, and then a lot of like digitizing, because back then it was like the paparazzi were shooting on tape, and the paparazzi would just come give their, you know, they'd go shoot whoever and then drop off their tape, and then have to be digitized and then uploaded and whatever. So I was doing all that stuff. But
were you kind of starstruck in a sense? Because I mean, it's TMZ. TMZ's kind of, especially back in the day, kind of a.
I mean, a little bit. There was like certain people around the room that, you know, because I was also like in the, you know, when they do the show and they like bounce around the room, the newsroom. Like I was there. I was in the, you know, I was in the back, but I was there. You could fucking drop in a screenshot right here. And they had like random people come in sometime. Like Ron Artest came in one time, and he might have been the biggest person that came in.
I'm not gonna lie, you speaking about this, it reminds me of that scene in Knocked Up when she's working for TMZ. She starts throwing up, finding out she's fucking pregnant.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's just, man. So I mean, was there anything beneficial from TMZ that you took from there and like, you know, added to your what do you call it?
I guess maybe just like organization. Because at one time they had me like digitizing old shit and like fucking putting stuff in boxes to be sent off, whatever, you know. So it was like organizing is, especially when you're dealing with a lot of content, is important.
Yeah. So did you realize that working for corporate was not for you, or was it something that you're like, I could do this? This is what I want to do.
No, I kind of. So when I interned there, that was like the end of my film school, and you know, film school ended, the internship ended, and I was like, I want to work for TMZ.
Yeah.
And I asked like, hey, is there a position? And they kind of like sent me back to where I first started. Like, oh yeah, there's a position in the whatever writing, and I was like, I don't want to. I'm not a journalist. I'm not trying to type up articles,
scripts and shit.
So I just kind of parted ways there. But I was fully ready to do the whole, you know, corporate 9-to-5 video thing, and didn't work out. And then I had to, you know, make my own lane, my own company.
No doubt. Corporate. Did you work for any other corporate after that? Or you just started carving out the own lane?
Yeah, no, not in the film industry. Okay. I for sure interviewed with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Trying to be an editor at places and this and that, and didn't work out. So I just
That's not what fucking fate was, huh?
I got tired of trying to interview for places,
Yeah.
and I decided to make my own lane.
Nice. So where'd you get your feet wet when you first started, or do you remember who your first artist was?
I guess. So I reached out to someone I knew, like through a friend that was doing stuff like on a bigger scale. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get on set, and I was a production assistant on like some Russian artist like music video, like.
Yeah.
Supposedly this dude's like the Russian Michael Jackson, I guess.
It's in the Bay or LA? Or?
In LA, yeah. So it's like the Russian Michael Jackson. I was like, all right, whatever,
Yeah.
It was a cool experience, and then I just like kept getting little jobs like that where I was a production assistant, very bottom of the totem pole.
Would you? My bad, I don't mean to cut you off. Would you say being in your kind of field when you first starting off, and this is just for people's knowledge, the best thing to do is just be a team player at first, compared to just trying to be like the main person shooting the videos?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's like a big problem I see today is like everyone wants to be like the chief,
Exactly.
So you gotta, you could still, you don't even need to like aspire to be the chief. Like you could make a good living being somewhere else,
Jack of all trades type person.
So.
Hell yeah. I know, following you and seeing a lot of your content, I see that there's so many different crops that you use. How do you even think of either making crops or buying crops, like for certain videos, not even knowing that you're gonna need them? Mm-hmm. Or do you have to do your own research and that's what makes you go out and get them?
Yeah.
I
mean, it's a little bit of everything. Sometimes I'll just have stuff at my disposal, like in my garage, that I'm like, this is gonna fit a video one day, like, and when that happens, I got it. Or sometimes I just have whatever idea and I don't even know if it works until I show up to set.
Yeah.
So.
Makes sense. Who would you say is the most fun artist that you like to work with? LA, Bay, doesn't matter where they're from and why.
I'd say probably the Moonshine Bandits.
Moonshine Bandits?
They're originally like from Los Baños.
Okay.
But they're like, every time I shoot with them, I look forward to it. It's always a good time. Like
they're creative, or?
Yeah, for sure. Like they'll always come to me with like a general, concept for the video, which I appreciate. Like some artists come to me with nothing. They're just like, here's a song, like do whatever you want. But
right.
I like when artists have their own input.
Yeah.
And kind of like a frame for me to like build a video off of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to go off of that, actually, when people don't know what they want to do for their videos, how do you go about that? Do you have to listen to the music first and try to vision something within yourself, or you just start giving them ideas and having them choose, or let's just go with the flow and vibe?
So if someone doesn't have any idea what they want to do, I'll just play the song. I usually do it when I'm driving. I'll just play the song on repeat over and over and over. And like immediately, like first time, like a little piece will come to me, play it again, and I'll like grow off that piece and, just create it in my head off the lyrics and the beat and the vibe.
Right.
And I don't think I've never like came back to an artist and be like, all right, this is what I'm thinking. And they said no.
Yeah.
Like they're always like, yes, like that's it.
Yeah, they got that trust in you. Excuse me. When it comes to, because there's a business side of this too. This isn't just like all fun and passion and whatnot. There's a business side. How do you go about people who say they want to do a video and they're gonna do a video and then last minute flake? Do you take a deposit, or you need everything up front?
I mean, yeah, part of it is the deposit.
Was that a learning experience for you though?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, so when I first started doing videos back in the day, I think I was doing, what was I doing? Like half. You give me half the day of the shoot.
Yeah.
And then half after I edit the video and give it to you.
Yeah.
You know, so someone could have canceled the day before, and I didn't have $1 from them, so I was just out the money.
Right.
When I blocked off that whole day for them.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've just been learning over the years on how to structure like the business part of it to
be more firm.
Yeah.
No doubt. Something that interests me, man. You work with a lot of big, well-known names. It's kind of a two-question thing, but who's the first big name that you could say you worked with? And what was your mindset like when it all happened? Was, you know, full excitement, or was it like, fuck, I'm nervous? Like, what was that like?
So I guess it's kind of like two people. Like the first real artist that I worked with that like had any type of name was Dub from South Central.
Okay.
This was when I was living in San Diego. I got hooked up with him through a friend, and I didn't know his music previous, so I didn't like have any expectations or anything going into it.
Right.
But after that, it was probably Rich Rocka from San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking grew up listening to his shit, like fucking 16s and all that shit. So that was probably the first artist that I worked with that had a name. And I don't think I was like nervous or anything going into it, or
because you already had previous all these little other videos, or what?
I don't know.
Or is it more of a confident thing, like I'm him?
I don't even think, even to this day, I don't even think it's like. I think it's that I overwhelm myself with like the details of like
your perfectionist.
everything else, that I'm not even thinking about who the artist is. Like I'm thinking about like this shot, these props, whatever. Like my mind is so involved with everything else that I don't have time to like fan out or whatever.
Right. Well, shit. I mean, that leads into the next question of how'd you come up with your name? Because you're so into the detail and all stuff like that. How'd you come up with the name Hatch or Hatch 86? Or,
so that actually goes back to my skateboard days.
Okay.
Me and all the homies that you know skated and made our videos, we're all the same age. So we were born in 1986, hatched like an egg, 86.
That's tight.
And it gets even deeper than that. So we had previous names for our crew that weren't good. I'm not even gonna say what they were.
Name one of them.
No,
please.
I'm not even. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. That's just for me and those guys to fucking be ashamed of. But anyways, we were on the bus one day, and this old white guy gets on the bus, mesh trucker hat. I remember it was green, and it just said Hatch 86 across the fucking hat. Like it was clearly like a homemade like DIY hat or something.
Yeah. And
me and my friend looked at it. We're like, oh, what the fuck? Like the name came together like that from the hat, and I had like an old 35 millimeter film camera on me. I was like, I'm gonna fucking sneak a photo of this fool. Sneak a photo of him. This is film, so it's not instant, you know. Like today, go to develop that later. We decide this is the name of our crew, our videos, everything. Go to develop that film. It doesn't come out.
Damn.
So I don't even know if that shit really happened.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Every other picture in that roll of film came out.
Yeah.
But the photo that I snuck of that guy in that hat didn't come out.
Who's to say that shit didn't say Hatch though? That could have said Hitch.
Yep.
Are you the only one out of your friends who pursued, you know, doing the film?
Yeah, I mean, one of them is like a graphic designer.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, everyone is just kind of like, you know, doing their own thing.
Yeah. What's it like working with BayArea Legends? You know, like 40 or Short or Filthy and so on and so forth. So many other, you know, big names compared to like, you know, smaller names that are trying to come up. You know, because it's two different mentalities, two different kind of professionalism. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, like I like wrap myself so much in the work that I don't even have time to like
think
about like, oh, this is a fucking guy that I grew up listening to. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, oh, I love this song. Oh, I love this video. Like, I'm just thinking about this video and this shot at the moment and whatever, that I don't have time to fucking like be like a fanboy, you know?
So would you say it's because you overwhelm yourself? When it comes to editing, do you feel like you need another person to like give you some kind of confirmation because you think too much of, you know, what shot's the best shot or what's the best scene and you know?
No, I pretty much like, I mean, I'll ask my wife sometimes, like, oh, come in here, come watch this, you know?
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I just do the edit. Like, obviously I'll listen to the artist, you know, whatever they have to say, but I'm pretty confident in what I put together.
Yeah, hell yeah. Who would you say is someone you look forward to working with that you haven't worked with yet?
Ooh. Oh, let me think about that one for a second. I never know what to say.
Country music?
Actually, I was just like going through like
the rap?
Hip hop artists.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, it could be any, like I said, it could be anything, you know?
Yeah.
Anybody.
I mean, I would love to work with Taylor Swift one day, for being real, but
yeah,
like,
it's possible.
Yeah, there's just like you watch artists' growth and my growth, and like there's some people I'm like, I'm never gonna catch them. So
yeah, is it about catching people, or how do you know what's your ceiling, or is there even a ceiling in your career? You know, to say where like, fuck, this is where you cap off. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you can't think like that, you know. It's just all about, you know, being at the right place at the right time. Like I might be somewhere and something could happen, and I could get an opportunity that wouldn't happen if I wouldn't have went to wherever it might be.
Right.
So.
I mean, that's a great way to put it. Shit. Besides Taylor, so let's just say hip hop then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's someone that you look forward to hopefully doing work with?
Alive? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Or alive?
I'm alive.
I mean, artist, dead or alive. Like, can I pick
go ahead. Choose whatever you want. Their spirit's still alive. You know.
Fuck, I don't know. That's hard. Like, I got answers, but I don't want to be fucking corny and say like a fucking mainstream ass artist.
Fuck it. You haven't worked with them. That's what you're kind of aiming for too, you know. So it's not corny.
Just cut out all this dead space.
It's just letting people know. It's just letting people know that, you know, you're a well-known name in the Bay. You still have goals that you want to reach. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily corny, I would say.
I guess fuck it. I'll keep it in the Bay, and I'll say G-Eazy.
G-Eazy.
I want to direct a G-Eazy video. I've worked on G-Eazy videos. Yeah. But I've never directed one.
That's hard. So yeah, I can see that for sure. Before we wrap this thing up, man, you dropped a lot of good knowledge and, you know, just game for people to pick up what you're putting down. What's probably a little bit of advice that you could give to somebody who's barely coming up or fucking not confident enough to fucking pursue what they have in their mind, which what you're doing? What's a little bit of advice you could give them?
I would just say invest in yourself, you know, and that's not just money. That's time. That's everything. Like, if this is what you want to do, this is what you love to do, it's what you want to do for a living, you need to take any fucking dollar that you make, put it into yourself, whether that's, you know, equipment or education, whatever. Spending the hours of learning stuff, whether that's like a, you know, traditional education at a school or watching things on YouTube. Like, it's not just gonna happen because you want it to. You gotta invest in yourself.
Right. I actually have one more last question, bro. Have you ever came across another person who does film or music videos and you learned off of them and they haven't gone to school?
To some degree, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's definitely like stuff that you don't learn in film school that you just learn from experience, and I've learned from other people that took a different path than myself. Yeah. I don't want to like. No, you're good. I don't want to hit on people too much that like didn't do the normal path. But
hey, everybody got their own lane and their own path to take, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own fate. You know what I mean? And some people it just takes longer because they're not as woke yet. You know what I mean? But eventually, everybody wakes up. You know. Go ahead, and let the people know, man, where they could find you, where they could reach out to you for music videos or, you know, just some content to check out.
So like all platforms is Hatch86 Films, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. If you're trying to get a video, DM me or email me hatch86films@gmail.com. And yeah.
Hell yeah, man. We're right here with a real living legend right here, man. I appreciate everybody tapping in. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell. Leave a comment, share it. If not, we're going to be on your necklace about it, man. Y'all tapping into Urban Moguls B. Right here, we drop the most game, man. Let's go.